Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm just going to quickly show you how I change the colour of eyes in a photograph. So I'm just going to zoom into this image here, nice and close. First thing I do, hit B for brush key, and then I'm going to hit Q for quick mask, or you can hit the quick mask over here on the left hand side. I'm going to reduce the brush size right down. Make sure it's in black. Okay, and then I'm just going to paint in. And don't worry if you do go over where you're at, because just change your brush to white and then paint it back. So I'm going to go in. If you're doing it yourselves, take a lot more time than I am. I'm just going to quickly paint these in. Okay, X key again, change it to white, just bring that pupil back. And I'm going to really zoom in on this eye over here. And then what I would do here, reduce your brush size right down by using the left hand bracket key. Make sure you're painting in white this time, over here on the left hand side, just to bring these few hairs back onto the eye. Again, reducing the brush size, using the left hand bracket key. And paint these back. So take your time when you're doing it yourself, but I'm sort of rushing it for the video. Okay, if you hit Q again for quick mask, that'll show you the selection that you've taken. So as you can see here, I've gone onto the skin a little bit. So again, I'm going to hit Q, keeping a white brush, and I'm just going to paint back. I do tend to leave just a little bit of the outside on the eyes because it tends to be a darker area anyway. I'm just going to go across here and check, hitting Q again. Yeah, that's selected that quite well. I can see a little bit of green there, so I'm going to just hit Q again, making sure I've got black brush selected, and just paint into the pupil again. Okay, hitting Q, I'm going to just come out a little bit. So you see I've got the two eyes selected. I'm just going to bring my layers panel over. I work from two screens, so everything's over the other side, and also I'm going to bring my adjustments across as well. Okay, now I'm going to go Command J just to duplicate this, just to put it on its own layer. From there I'm going to add an adjustment layer of hue and saturation. As you can see, that's been added. Now if I take the properties, which again I'm going to have to drag it over, if you just hit the bottom here, and that's going to clip this to the layer below. If you're on an older version of Photoshop, then you can hover between the two, just hold down the Alt key, and that's going to do a clipping mask for you. This version, it's got a little box with an arrow, but it's got like two eyes, one on top of the other, but that's all it's going to do is clip it. Now once I've done that there, what I do is I change it to linear dodge add. You can see suddenly it goes really bright. What I'm going to do is just drop the opacity right down to none, and then just bring it up a little bit. At the minute I'm going to do around about between 25–30%. Okay, I'm happy with that. Down to the hue and saturation here, I'm going to click on colorize. I'm going to increase the saturation quite a bit because I can reduce that down, but that's really going to let me see what colours are going on, and then just drag it along till you find a colour that you like. You can say greens onto blues. On the blues, if you're after a blue, you'll find that once you sort of get the colour you're after, then you're really going to have to increase the saturation on that. And then again, on the opacity, on your linear dodge, you may have to again bring that up just to get the blues you're after. That's going to be overcooked a little bit, but then get to the fill and just reduce the fill down. That's going to keep the blue you're after, but just take it back a little bit. Okay, so that's sort of getting it now. Again, there's lots of different colours you can sort of pick from. Again, sort of go for a cat's eye green. With the greens here, you probably find you need to reduce the opacity down, and probably the fill as well. Okay, I'm just going to stick with that. That's not done a bad job, but having to play around could do a lot better. But again, what I'm going to do, because they're sort of quite flat looking, these eyes, let's just go out a little bit. I'm just going to add a curves adjustment to it. Now if I'm working the hue and saturation, if I now go and add a curves adjustment layer here, that's just going to put it above, and then we're going to have to clip it again. So if I actually go to the layer where the eyes are here and then add the curves adjustment layer, it's going to automatically clip it just to the eyes and nothing else. So what I'm going to do now is just I'm going to increase the brightness in that, then pull down, and let's get a nice bit of contrast going on. That sort of really deepens that green down. Okay, that's quite a nice sort of dark green now. Again, if it's too dark for you, back to the hue and saturation. You've got your linear dodge here, and you can just brighten it up a little bit. Just bring it up a bit. Okay, nice green eyes. A little bit too green, but have a play around and I'm sure you'll get that right. Okay, while I'm on this one, I'm just going to very quickly show you how to do whiten the teeth as well. So I'm going to go back down to the background layer, which is this base layer here, and I'm going to get the lasso tool and just do a real quick selection around these teeth. Okay, once I've selected them, I'm going to go to the hue and saturation. On the hue and saturation, down here where it's got master, change that to yellows. Now don't do desaturation or anything like that, just grab the lightness slider and pull it to the right. If I go all the way, you'll see it's really gone too white. Just sort of start the baseline where it was and just to sort of get rid of the yellow into the teeth. Now as you see, if I go over a bit, these areas here, it's sort of taken the yellow, any yellow that was in the skin out as well. So what I'm going to do with that one there is again just bring the lightness back to where I'm happy with. She's about there, and because we're on a layer mask and it's a black layer mask, get your brush, change it to white by hitting the X key, get your brush and just brush, make sure you're at 100% and just brush any of those areas there that you think you may have just taken a little bit of the yellow colour out of the skin. Okay, so I'm going to just toggle on and off. Let's zoom in a bit so you can see a bit closer. And again, just going to toggle on and off. And there you see. Let's just brighten the teeth up nicely. Okay, hope this video has been of some use to you, and I'll catch you next time.